getting closer to pushing me off a life's little edge. G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. Alright, so right now we're going to have a chat about, so if you're ever put in a situation, like the situation I'm in now, where you've been charged with something and you are 100% innocent, I'm going to let you know what you need to do and what you don't need to do. Alright, so let's say you've been charged, whatever, you've been taken back to the police station. Very first thing you need to know is when you get in that police station and it is time for them to ask you the questions, they make it a point when they are arresting you that you have the right to remain silent. And you do. And so you keep that right and you do not care what they say, what questions they ask you or whatever. You tell them your name, you tell them your date of birth, you tell them your address, and then from that moment on till the end of the video, you say no comment to absolutely every question. Now, your lawyer is going to tell you to do this anyway. It doesn't matter if you have a solicitor, a barrister, a QC. They are all going to tell you to shut your mouth when you are in the interview room. Why? Because anything you say can and will be used as evidence against you in a court of law, which is the exact words they use when they're explaining how they're going to use their evidence to screw you over. So anyway, it doesn't matter what they say to you. They might be saying things that touch a heartstring. They might be saying things that make you angry. But you need to know that you just need to keep your composure. And the thing is, you need to keep this composure from the moment you find out, all through the police station, all through your court process, and right up until the end. And that is the whole time you shut your mouth too. The only time you should talk about what is taking place, like the charges, what they are talking about, is with your lawyer. And you probably shouldn't even talk about it on the phone, to be honest. Like these days, they will bug your house, they will do this and that. As you know, I found a bug in my house yesterday. I have ongoing bullshit court proceeds taking place at the moment. And yeah, so you really just need to keep your composure. So if they also give you the opportunity to call your lawyer, your solicitor, your barrister, your QC before you go into the interview room, I highly recommend that if you don't have one, that you do this anyway. It doesn't matter if you get a court-appointed solicitor, it doesn't matter. Get some kind of legal help and a little bit of information before you go in there. But they are just going to tell you the exact same thing that I'm telling you right now, which is to zip your mouth, and they will talk to you when they see you. Okay, so the chances that they give you bail, which means they're going to give you bail, you're probably going to get some conditions, have to sign in, curfews and things like that. Just abide by it, do everything that they say. I know it's going to piss you off, it is going to do your head in, and you just want to, rebel against what's going on, which is exactly how I feel at the moment. And in the past, I actually would have acted like that and rebelled and ended up in prison and made things worse for me and my custody proceedings right now. So don't, and if you have intervention orders in place and things like that, you need to toe the line the whole time to the end, because you can guarantee you, if they've given you bail, it doesn't matter on what charges they are trying to throw at you, they're going to try and get you locked up. If they have you remanded, that is what they want. And so what you absolutely need to do is just remember to shut your mouth. Don't talk about anything, the case, even if you know nothing about it, even if you know everything about it, you do not talk about this with anybody. And you do not talk about anything over the phones. Always talk to your lawyer and talk to them in person and tell them everything they need to know in person. And so also, don't miss any court cases and everything like this, but toe the line right to the end. And if you are given bail, right? If you are given bail and say, for instance, you go to trial and you're found guilty, you're shattered. You've just been found guilty on something that you did nothing, you know nothing about, right? So if you were on bail, a lot of people don't know this, so you can appeal your sentence the day you get sentenced. Bang, chuck an appeal in straight away. But there is this thing in Victorian courts which is called appeal bail. So if you have been sentenced, you think you're about to do 5 years, 10 years, 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, whatever. If you have appealed this and you were on bail beforehand, you can go for bail straight away on that day and get out on the exact same conditions, even though you have just been sentenced. Now, if you put an appeal in and it doesn't work that day, it is still going to work. You will go to prison, you will have your appeal bail in, and if it works, you will get out. Your sentence will be on pause while you appeal your sentence. Now, there are so many, so you could, if you're in the magistrate's court, it will go to the county court. And then if you are in the county court, it will go to the Supreme Court. If you are in the Supreme Court, it will go to the High Court of Australia. And then once you are at the High Court of Australia and you get found guilty, there's nothing that can be done from there on in. You need and hope the public will help you to make changes like that. But, you know, you really need to keep your composure. And, you know, I'll use myself as an example. And, yeah, like, people are really going to try and push your buttons to try and make you out to be what they're trying to say you're going to be. Like in my situation, they're trying to say that I'm a serious violent offender still. You know, I've been done for serious violent offences in the past. You know, I just completed a 9-year sentence, and like, they will use that against you, and once you have been to jail, it is do not pass go, do not collect $200. You are going to jail most of the time. So, you know, just know that if you are in these situations, you've just got to keep your composure and shut your mouth. I cannot illustrate enough how important it is for you to shut your mouth, especially if you do not get remanded and you go to prison. A lot of people try and talk about their crimes, this and that, to try and give them a bit more status in the jail community. Now, let me tell you right now that you can't impress me by telling me what you have done. You know what I mean? Nothing, no real crook on this planet is going to sit there and listen to your bullshit story and think that you're a real person because you're saying you did so. I have to witness it for myself. So I don't know that you're real. Unless you go up and give someone a shank in the neck, shank sandwich, I don't know that you're real. So, you know, people just trying to talk about their crimes and that in the police cells and in jail, trying to big up themselves, trying to give themselves a better status in the jail. Not only does it make you look like a flippin' moron, it actually, like, it just don't do it. Do you know what I mean? And also, yeah, like, the jail is like just picture the jail as one big listening device, and everything you say in jail at all times, especially if you're in one of the new jails, they are watching and listening at all times. So shut your mouth, don't talk about it, and let your lawyer sort out the details. It doesn't matter what you say, anything you say and do, and it gets used in court, you're just going to sit there and think how much of a dickhead I am, that I was sitting there telling my mate how tough I am outside, not only making myself sound like a moron to everyone around me, but, you know, you are getting listened to. And believe me, I have seen it time and time again, people punching themselves in the face after they get back from court when they're using evidence against them from talking in their own cell, talking in the yard, talking anywhere. You need to know in your mind that these jails are listening to you for evidence. Let me tell you right now, especially if you go to any government jail, they are listening to everything you say at all times, and the past has proven so. So, you know, just don't do these things. And this is exactly like, yeah, just you need to just shut your mouth and roll with the punches, because if you are innocent, well, hopefully it pans out right for you. Alright guys, well this has been the Chaos Chronicles. I think there's somebody at my door, so I'm going to get going. I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. This has been giving you a little bit of insight on what to do if you get charged when you know nothing about it, and then what to do. But guys, you know, don't be in and around this kind of life, and these kind of things won't happen to you if you aren't surrounding yourself with dipshit people. Do you know what I mean? You really, you just, like, I promise you that this is like, if you want to live this life, and if you think that 100% people are getting into this life like bike clubs and crime and this for the money, yeah, the money's great, but the bullshit that you have to go through to get that money, and what's going to happen to you in the end, the 100% true fact of this crime bullshit is you will end up in jail unless you're a snitch, and you will get snitched on, or you will die. Like, the end game for this crime thing is not good for many people. Like, history has showed this, that criminals do not succeed in the long run. Yeah, they might live well, you've got nice bikes, nice cars, you've got a hot girlfriend, this and that, but this is a very, very short-lived life, and I can't tell you how much mistakes that I made. I don't have any regrets in my life, because every mistake I made in my life, I used that as a point in my life to change. Alright guys, I have been the Chaos Chronicles. Someone's at my door. Ciao.
You're getting closer to pushing me off a life's little edge.